Good morning. It is 8 a.m. Monday the 31st of May. Today I wanted to talk about possibly doing a 40-day fast. A fast is generally thought of as not eating or not eating specific foods. A fast can be any behavioral action. Yeah. So what I want to do, and what I would prefer, is that I could do this in a community setting, meaning others would do it with me. And that would be a removal from a normal society. Absence from or of cultural norms, work, digress, a job, housing, store-bought food, store-bought drink. I want to remove myself from the rat race, a pure survival instinct atmosphere with no eating of anything. The only consumption will be nature, what God made. No concrete, no steel, no technology, which concrete and steel is. Only what was made in the beginning. Adamah, what grows. No smoking, no pills, zero consumption, except for water, and not municipal water. Not even stream water, but a distilled water, which can be formulated in nature to be purified. Example would be rainwater, gathering of rainwater, maybe even a process of filtration without the means of synthetic materials like iron or even stainless steel, which is not exactly a synthetic, but it's very, very close. Anyways, no hustle, no bustle. First 2 days in the middle of nowhere with nothing except you and nature. Whether it be in the middle of the woods or in the middle of a desert, the only thing you have to maintain is your own life. Your own soul. Or my own soul. The only thing that should be on my mind in that moment is the logos which I have gathered prior or accumulated prior. Those things, I believe, should be on my mind during those 40 days, regardless of anything. Excuse me. Secondary to that would be a water source. After that would be a shelter of some sort, maybe not constructed, but utilizing what is already in nature, not changing anything, but using what is already there, not building something. First 2 days doing without food and tasty drinks will be the most difficult time. Doing without interaction, commerce, no trading, no buying, no selling, no obligations. The only thing you have to worry about is your countenance, your mindsets, a reconstruction of values, your value system. But for the other 38 days, well, the first 2 weeks will be super hard because you need to resensitize. Reorient yourself in the world that you live in. A great many things to deeply ponder for those 40 days. The first 2 days will be super duper hard. Because that's when your body still wants and craves all the things you just denied it. You will be chemically imbalanced to an extreme degree during those 2 days. Your emotions will run rampant and hit climaxes like you've never experienced before. The rest of the first 2 weeks will still be hard, not as hard as the first 2 days in some aspects, and could be harder in others. But for the rest of those 2 weeks, you have to maintain the vigilance of doing without and not caving to abandoning the 40-day fast. But if you've got a goal in mind for the end of this 40 days, then overcoming those wants and so-called desires and empty passions will pass. You will overcome. But during this time is where you will gain, at least in your life, unprecedented discipline, motivation, a brand new worldview, a minimalist to the extreme. You will become closer to God. I would become closer to God. Another thing, with my current knowledge of the body, biology and how it reacts to what we put into it. This is a great cleansing period of the cells. The organs. A balancing of the good and bad microorganisms. Your gut will be empty, but it will still have microorganisms in it. I'm not 100% sure or have solid affirmation going only on my current knowledge that the heavy metals that have accumulated and stored into the hippocampus cannot be removed. But as the body, the cells are constantly being rebuilt, what has not already been destroyed can be rebuilt to be better than current. Brought back to original standing, I should say. You remove, when you turn the water faucet off, it's easy to clean up the mess. But if you're constantly shoveling in shit, if you look at it like this, it was said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. And if you consider everything you eat to be poop that is not digested yet, that gives you a whole new take on when and where and what you eat. Because on a normal basis, if it comes in a box or a bag, it is not good for you. Anyways, if you stop shoveling in shit, your body doesn't have near the amount of shit to get rid of. And if you've done this for a long time, years and years, then you have all this toxins and foreign bodies in the soul that it stores with fat cells. And if the time period is a prolonged time period, when your cells rebuild themselves in a not so very efficient way, it is rebuilt with the toxins, not just in the fat storage, but also with the organs themselves. And when that happens, the less efficient those organs become at doing their job. Like the kidneys, their job is to filter your blood. Life is in the blood. What was I saying? Fasting. When you fast, you stop shoveling in the shit. And the body goes into what is called autophagy. And it begins to create ketones, or what is called ketosis. And it goes from using carbohydrates as fuel to fat burning as fuel. And when you're in that, when your body is in that process, all the crap you stored up, all of your fat cells that include all these foreign bodies and toxins, when these cells are rebuilt, yeah, you lose weight because it gets rid of fat. But the whole purpose of doing this is to get rid of the toxins that are stored up, and hopefully heavy metals and all these other varying things, which are foreign bodies. But during this autophagy, the body becomes a great deal more efficient at rebuilding these cells. And getting rid of these toxins and foreign bodies. And when it does this, you may think you're sick, but you've been sick, and you don't know it, because you've been storing up these toxins instead of getting rid of them, because you keep shoveling them in. Or I keep shoveling them in. The way the body gets rid of toxins is through excretion. Number one, stool. Or everything that comes out of the anus. Number 2 would be urine. Number 3, well, you can consider all of these mucus, but the excretion or the making of mucus of the body is actually a good thing because it gets rid of toxins. I think the main mucus that we make comes out in stool, and secondary out of the sinuses, third in the lungs. The next excretion, I believe, would be in the blood. Don't really recall what organ does that, but it excretes the mucus in the form of cholesterol. Anyways, stool, urine, lung, sinus, sweat, I'm not going to include the mucus from reproductive organs. Well, anyway, when your body's excreting all these toxins, you're gonna feel nasty. And you're going to feel sick. And you're going to be mucus laden. And you're going to feel like crap. So bathing during this point is very important. And I think that, or the way I've come to understand it, is the first 2 weeks that you do fast with nothing but water. Is the hardest time because that's when you get rid of most of the toxins in your body, and you think you're being sick, but you're actually getting better because you're getting rid of all this crap. But past that point, also I will add that if you just sit and do nothing, you will have muscle atrophy. So you have to do something. You have to be steadily active. You have to do something. If you don't want to lose muscle mass, you have to work every muscle in your body. Or you will lose it. If all you do is squats during the 40 period, at the end of this 40 period, you will only have leg and lower core muscles. The rest of you will look like a cyclist. Anyways, there is science behind that. What was I saying? After the 2 weeks, things will be a whole lot smoother. And easier. if you lose too much muscle mass, then you should stop the fast. But if you can afford to go the whole 40 days, it would be of much better and great benefit. Every one of your senses would be heightened. What time is it? 8:26, and I'm the only one here. I guess that's it for now.